Dear friends, if lately you find yourself feeling winded after just a few laps around the house, or if your grocery bags suddenly feel heavier than before, understand this. It's not just a trivial sign of getting older. It could be your body signaling that you're losing muscle mass. Doctors call this condition sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, meaning the bulk and strength of your muscles are literally shrinking over time. Even more concerning, muscle weakness doesn't just make you tired, it leads to bigger problems, a higher risk of falls, aching joints, a drop in immunity, and a gradual loss of independence in daily life. The tragedy is that most people simply accept this as an unavoidable part of aging and ignore these crucial body signals. But here's the good news: you absolutely can maintain strong muscles, walk with confidence, and live actively in your golden years. Emotional connection. The key to this strength isn't some expensive pill or exotic program, it's right on your dinner table every single day. We're talking about protein, the foundational building block found in familiar foods like eggs, fish, tofu, lean meat, milk, or even beans you use for soups and desserts. These everyday foods are the essential raw material your body needs to maintain and repair your muscles daily. Call to action, gentle awareness. If you lack protein, your body runs out of bricks to feed the muscle, forcing it to cannibalize your existing muscle mass for energy. The result is smaller muscles and steadily declining strength. But if you supplement consistently and adequately, your muscles will be stronger, your bones more resilient, your steps steadier, and your immune system visibly improved. The problem often lies in our dietary habits, which tend to be heavy on rice, porridge, noodles, and bread, meaning lots of starch but not enough protein. That's why, even when you feel full, your body can still be nutrient deficient, and your muscles continue to weaken. So, how much protein do we really need to keep our muscles from wasting away? How should the elderly eat differently from the young? And what are the simplest, most effective ways to supplement? Let's find the answers through these 15 critical questions. 1. How much protein do seniors need daily to prevent muscle loss? Older adults who want to maintain healthy muscle need to eat more protein than they did when they were younger, while young adults only need about 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily. That number needs to increase to 1 to 1.2 grams after age 50, and even 1.5 grams for those who are already frail, have chronic illnesses, or are recovering from sickness. Put simply, a 60-kilogram person needs at least 72 to 90 grams of protein daily just to sustain their muscle, while a 70-kilogram person needs 84 to 105 grams. The reason is that as we age, our bodies don't use protein as efficiently, we eat the same amount, but the body's ability to synthesize muscle is diminished. Therefore, to build muscle, each meal needs sufficient essential amino acids, especially leucine, which is abundant in eggs, dairy, fish, meat, and soy. For optimal absorption, this protein intake should be divided throughout the day, aiming for about 25 to 30 grams per meal. Attention, specific data. This is completely manageable if you choose your foods wisely. For breakfast, just 2 eggs and 1 cup of milk already provide nearly 20 grams of protein. Lunch with 100 grams of chicken and 1 block of tofu adds about 35 grams. Dinner featuring a piece of stewed fish and a bowl of soft-cooked mung bean porridge adds over 25 grams more. Cumulatively, you've reached around 80 to 85 grams of protein for a 60-kilogram person, perfectly matching the body's needs. The critical thing to remember is to calculate the protein content, not just look at the food volume. Also, for effective muscle absorption, meals need to be energy sufficient, include green vegetables, and be accompanied by adequate water intake. Note: If you have kidney disease or have been advised by a doctor to restrict protein, you must follow those specific instructions. Call to action, practical steps. 2. What is the best time of day to consume protein for muscle health? In old age, the body struggles to absorb a large amount of protein all at once. If you cram it all into lunch or dinner, much of the nutrient will be wasted, failing to be converted into muscle in time. The most effective approach is to have a balanced portion of protein at every meal. Breakfast is particularly important because, after a long night, the body is depleted of energy and protein. If you only eat cold rice, bread, or instant noodles, your muscles won't be nourished. Instead, a breakfast with 2 boiled eggs, a glass of milk, or soft-cooked mung bean porridge will immediately provide 15 to 20 grams of protein, boosting your strength for the entire day. Lunch should include lean meat, fish, or tofu combined with vegetables and rice. This is the main meal and can supply 25 to 30 grams of protein. Dinner should not be too heavy, but still requires protein for muscle recovery after a full day of activity. A piece of stewed fish or a soup cooked with shrimp and tofu alongside some green vegetables is a light yet nutritious choice. Many studies indicate that older adults who eat around 25 to 30 grams of protein at each meal, divided evenly across breakfast, lunch, and dinner, maintain muscle mass far better than those who eat a lot at one meal and little at others. To put it simply, eating consistently and spreading it throughout the day is the secret. If every meal includes protein, even in small amounts, your muscles are continually nourished and their decline with age is slowed. Call to action, behavioral change. 3. How is muscle weakness related to memory and immunity? Muscle is like a reservoir of energy and nutrients for the body. Memory and cognition. When you have sufficient muscle, metabolism runs smoothly, the brain receives a steady supply of energy, and your mind is clearer. Conversely, when muscle shrinks, the body easily falls out of balance. Blood sugar fluctuates erratically, blood flow to the brain is poor, and memory declines. Research shows that individuals with higher muscle mass have a lower risk of cognitive decline than those with less muscle. Immunity. Muscle also produces substances called myokines. These are special molecules that help reduce inflammation, regulate the immune system, and protect cells. When we exercise, muscles release more myokines, helping the body fight bacteria, viruses, and even chronic diseases. Therefore, people with strong muscles are generally less prone to minor illnesses, recover faster after sickness, and have better immunity. Attention, scientific insight. In essence, strong muscle means a clear mind and robust immunity. Weak muscle means memory loss and increased susceptibility to disease. That's why maintaining muscle is not just about walking steadily, but also about protecting your intellect and overall health in old age. Emotional connection. 4. Why can just a few weeks of hospital bed rest cause more muscle loss than several years of aging after 60? When we are bedridden, our leg and arm muscles are no longer used. After just 1 to 2 weeks of immobility, muscles begin to visibly waste away, while younger people can recover quickly. In older adults, the process of rebuilding muscle is slow, making lost muscle mass difficult to regain. Many studies show that a 70-year-old person can lose the amount of muscle equivalent to 5 to 10 years of natural aging after just 10 days in the hospital. The reasons include lack of exercise, muscles aren't used, poor nutrition, hospital stays often lead to poor appetite or reduced nutrient absorption, illness stress. Sickness causes the body to release inflammatory substances, which further accelerates muscle loss. That's why many seniors feel significantly weaker after a hospital stay, walking slowly, sometimes even needing a cane or wheelchair. But the encouraging news is that we can mitigate this consequence by focusing on nutritional recovery and early mobility. Even during the hospital stay, if health permits, sitting up, gently flexing and extending limbs, and practicing deep breathing can help prevent muscle loss from being too rapid. After discharge, eating enough protein, milk, eggs, fish, tofu, combined with short walks or standing, sitting exercises, will help the body gradually regain strength. Simply put, muscle is like a machine. Disuse causes rust. Regular use ensures longevity. For older adults, even a short period of inactivity is enough to cause rapid muscle loss. Therefore, maintaining daily activity and adequate protein supplementation is the best way to protect the body from rapid weakening after hospitalization. Call to action: immediate application. 5. Should people with diabetes, high blood pressure, or kidney disease supplement protein normally? For diabetics, supplementing with enough protein is crucial. Protein helps stabilize blood sugar, reduces quick hunger pangs, and prevents muscle loss. The key is choosing lean protein like fish, chicken, eggs, tofu, and unsweetened milk, avoiding fatty, heavily oiled, or fried meats. For high blood pressure, protein is not the primary cause of high blood pressure. Salt and unhealthy fats are. You can still eat enough protein, but be mindful of preparation. Limit salty canned goods. Avoid heavy salting, and prioritize boiled, steamed, or lightly stewed dishes. Fish, tofu, and low-fat dairy are safe and beneficial choices for heart health. For kidney disease, extra caution is needed. If the kidneys are weak, their ability to filter protein is reduced, and eating too much protein will overwork them. In this case, protein intake must be adjusted according to a doctor's guidance. Typically just enough, not excessively. Instead of following a general formula, patients with kidney disease should seek personalized advice, as the degree of kidney failure varies per person. Attention, clear distinction. In summary, most older adults, even those with chronic diseases, still need adequate protein to nourish their muscles. They just need to select good protein sources, cook healthily, and adjust according to their condition. For those with kidney disease, it is absolutely essential to follow the advice of the treating physician. Do not self-restrict or self-increase protein intake. Call to action: seek professional advice. 6. Why is muscle considered the body's second immune organ? Many people believe the immune system resides only in the blood and bone marrow, but muscle plays a vital role in protecting the body from illness. Scientists call muscle the second immune organ because it directly participates in regulating the immune system. Myokine secretion. When we exercise, muscles release special substances called myokines. These are chemical signals that work to reduce inflammation, stimulate immune cells to function more effectively, and even help prevent certain chronic diseases. You can think of myokine as a natural immune drug that the body produces whenever you move. Resource storage. Muscle is also a reserve of energy and amino acids. When the body is sick, feverish, or infected, the immune system requires a lot of raw material to create antibodies and protective cells. If you have sufficient muscle, the body has a ready reserve to mobilize, helping to fight illness faster and recover better. Conversely, those with low muscle mass are often more susceptible to illness, take longer to heal, and experience frequent relapses. The fact is, older people with good muscle mass rarely get severe colds, have fewer complications from illness, and recover well. Muscle is truly our second immune organ, silently protecting us every day, not just for moving around. Emotional connection. 7. Do seniors lose muscle faster in their legs or arms? Why? The reality is that older adults lose muscle faster in their legs than their arms. The main reason is that leg muscles bear the entire body weight and are directly involved in walking, standing up, and sitting down. Disuse, after age 50 to 60. Due to less walking, avoiding stairs, or sitting more often, leg muscles are used less and weaken rapidly. The muscle fibers in the legs thus atrophy faster than in the arms. Meanwhile, arms are still frequently used for gripping and household chores, so muscle atrophy is slower. Large muscle group. Leg muscles are generally large groups that consume a lot of energy. In old age, when we eat less or absorb poorly, the body tends to cut down the largest muscle groups first. This causes leg muscles to lose mass faster, making steps slower and less steady than before. Because of this rapid leg muscle loss, many seniors find it difficult to stand up, get tired climbing stairs, and are prone to falls. A fall in old age can lead to severe consequences like bone fractures and being bedridden. The encouraging part is that if you focus on proper exercise, like practicing standing up and sitting down, walking, light cycling, or simply walking laps around the yard every day, leg muscles can still be maintained and even strengthened. Combined with adequate protein intake, leg muscles will recover slowly but surely, ensuring stable steps and reducing the risk of falls. In short, seniors lose muscle fastest in their legs due to less activity and because leg muscles are inherently large groups. Knowing this and focusing on daily leg exercises is key to maintaining balance, strength, and independence in your later years. Call to action: exercise focus. 8. Can muscle help the body fight cancer and chronic diseases? Few would think muscle is related to serious diseases like cancer or chronic conditions. But the truth is, strong muscle is a silent shield for the body. Protective signals. When you have enough muscle, your body produces special substances called myokines whenever you exercise. Myokines act as protective signals capable of reducing inflammation, inhibiting the growth of abnormal cells, and supporting the immune system to destroy pathogens. As a result, people who maintain good muscle mass have a lower risk of many types of cancer and chronic diseases. Energy reserve. Muscle is also a reserve of energy and amino acids. When the body faces severe illness, especially cancer, treatment often causes physical depletion. If there is enough muscle, the body has resources to maintain strength, helping the patient cope better and recover faster. Conversely, if muscle atrophies significantly, the body weakens, the immune system declines, and the disease progresses quickly and becomes harder to treat. International studies show that cancer patients with high muscle mass often live longer and have fewer complications during treatment compared to those with muscle wasting. The same is true for other chronic diseases like diabetes, cardiovascular issues, and high blood pressure. People with strong muscles generally control blood sugar better, have more stable heart function, and experience fewer strokes. You can picture muscle as a natural pharmaceutical factory. It both creates protective substances and supplies raw materials to the immune system. Strong muscle is not just for moving powerfully, it helps the body fight disease from within. Emotional connection, empowerment. 9. Does not getting enough sleep cause muscle to waste away faster? The answer is yes. Lack of sleep doesn't just make you tired, it causes muscle to waste away faster. Interrupted recovery. It is only during deep sleep that the body truly enters the repair and regeneration phase. At this time, growth hormone and testosterone, two vital substances for building muscle, are secreted the most. If you sleep little, especially if your sleep is fragmented, the level of these hormones drops, interrupting the muscle recovery process. The result is gradual muscle weakening, even if you eat enough protein during the day. Increased cortisol. Sleep deprivation also raises the stress hormone cortisol. High cortisol levels accelerate muscle breakdown, causing muscle mass to be eroded faster. For seniors, who already struggle to retain muscle, this situation is even more dangerous. Research indicates that older adults who sleep less than 5 to 6 hours per night typically lose muscle faster and experience strength decline sooner than those who sleep the full 7 to 8 hours. They are also more prone to falls, have slower reflexes, and weaker immune systems. Attention, hidden threat. Fortunately, sleep quality can be improved with simple habits. Go to bed at a consistent time. Limit tea and coffee in the afternoon. Turn off the TV and phone before bed. Keep the bedroom quiet and cool. A deep, complete sleep not only keeps the mind clear but is also a natural medicine for muscle recovery and sustainable maintenance. In other words, eating protein and exercising helps build muscle. But sleeping enough is when the body truly completes that job. Chronic sleep deprivation is like throwing away the effort you put into nourishing your muscles. Call to action, lifestyle adjustment. 10. Are there foods that simultaneously nourish muscle, reduce inflammation, and benefit the heart? Yes, and these foods are commonly found in daily meals. Not expensive luxuries. Fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, herring, sardines, or even basa fish in Vietnam. They are rich in high-quality protein to nourish muscles and contain plenty of omega-3, a good fat that reduces internal inflammation and protects the heart. Eating fish 2 to 3 times a week strengthens muscles and lowers the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Soy and soy products, tofu, soy milk, and sweet tofu pudding, dao pho. Soy provides easily digestible plant-based protein and contains isoflavones, plant compounds that reduce inflammation, balance hormones, and benefit joints and bones. Soy also helps lower blood fat, preventing atherosclerosis, hardening of the arteries. Nuts and dried fruits, walnuts, almonds, pumpkin seeds, cashews. They contain plant protein, numerous unsaturated fats, and antioxidants. Eating a small handful of nuts daily can reduce inflammation, improve memory, and keep blood vessels clear. Dark green leafy vegetables, spinach, kale, mustard greens, though not as rich in protein as meat and fish. They supply magnesium, potassium, and antioxidants that help reduce muscle inflammation, stabilize blood pressure, and support protein synthesis. By skillfully combining these familiar foods, fish, soy, nuts, and green vegetables, we get a powerful quartet that both nourishes muscle, fights inflammation, and benefits heart health. A simple example for a meal: lunch with stewed fish, rimmed tofu, tofu simmered in sauce, a bowl of green vegetable soup, plus a few walnuts for dessert. In one meal, you've provided enough protein, good fats, fiber, and essential vitamins to protect both muscle and heart. Call to action, dietary choice. 11. Can muscle secrete rejuvenation hormones for the entire body? It may sound strange, but it's true. Muscle has the ability to secrete substances considered rejuvenation hormones for the body. Scientists call them myokines, special molecules that muscle produces whenever we move. Myokines act as chemical messages that spread throughout the body. They help reduce inflammation, stimulate fat burning, increase insulin sensitivity, very important for diabetics, even protect nerve cells, slowing down memory decline. You can think of it this way: every time your muscle flexes and contracts, your body receives a dose of natural rejuvenation. The exciting part is that the amount of myokine released depends on the level of activity. The stronger your muscle and the more consistently you move, the more myokine your body produces. This explains why people who maintain exercise habits not only keep their muscles firm but also look and feel younger and more mentally alert than their actual age. Studies show that seniors who regularly exercise have significantly higher myokine levels in their blood than sedentary peers. This is why they suffer less from chronic diseases, have clearer minds, and age slower. In essence, muscle is a hidden endocrine gland in the body. It doesn't just help us walk, it secretes substances that slow down full body aging. Therefore, taking care of your muscles is taking care of your longevity and youthfulness. Emotional connection. 12. Do muscles have memory? If I stop exercising and then restart, will I recover faster? The answer is yes. Muscle does have a form of memory. Thanks to this, someone who was once strong through exercise, even if they stop for a period, will recover faster when they restart compared to someone who has never trained. The reason is that during training, muscle not only grows in size but also increases the number of cell nuclei within the muscle fibers. These cell nuclei act as a memory bank that stores the ability to build muscle. When you stop training, the muscle may shrink and weaken, but the number of these cell nuclei remains. Consequently, when you return to training, the body has a foundation ready to recover more quickly. This provides great news for older adults. It's never too late to start. If you once maintained a regular exercise routine, that benefit is not completely lost, it remains stored in your body. Your muscle still has memory, ready to respond when you begin moving again. To use a friendly analogy, muscle is like an old friend, even after a long separation. When you reconnect, it still remembers and quickly gets back into rhythm. Call to action, encouragement. 13. Does having a large belly with lots of fat also speed up muscle loss? That's correct. A large belly with excess fat doesn't just make you heavy, it accelerates the muscle wasting process. Causes inflammation when there is too much fat in the body. Especially abdominal fat. Fat cells secretly release inflammatory substances. This chronic inflammation reduces the body's ability to use protein to nourish muscle, causing muscle to weaken gradually. People with large bellies often find their limbs tire quickly, have poor endurance, and are more prone to falls. Insulin resistance. Abdominal fat also makes the body insulin resistant, meaning the ability to deliver nutrients into the cells is reduced. This causes muscle to absorb nutrients inefficiently. Even when you eat enough protein, the more fat, the more muscle you lose. Studies show that older adults who are low in muscle and high in fat, a condition called sarcopenic obesity, have the highest risk of disease. This is why some people look large but are weak and walk with difficulty. Most of their body weight is fat, not muscle. The good news is that this condition is entirely reversible. By reducing refined carbohydrates, limiting fried foods, eating plenty of green vegetables, combining light exercise, and supplementing with enough protein, the body will gradually replace fat with muscle. Your belly shrinks, your steps feel lighter, and your health visibly improves. In other words, a large belly is not just an aesthetic issue, it's a hidden enemy of muscle. Keeping your waistline trim and your muscles strong is also a way to maintain your longevity and independence. Call to action, lifestyle adjustment. 14. Does daily consumption of tea or coffee interfere with protein absorption and pose a risk? Many older folks have a habit of drinking strong tea or coffee daily, sometimes right after a meal. Does this habit affect protein absorption and pose a risk? The answer is yes, but it depends on how you drink it. Tea and coffee contain tannins and caffeine. Tannins can reduce the absorption of some important minerals that accompany protein, such as iron and zinc, which are necessary for muscle nourishment. If you drink a cup of strong tea right after a protein-rich meal, your body will absorb nutrients less effectively. Similarly, strong coffee right after a meal can also partially hinder nutrient absorption. However, if you drink tea or coffee about 1 to 2 hours away from meals, this effect is negligible. On the contrary, a moderate amount of caffeine can help keep you alert, stimulate metabolism, and support more effective exercise. The cautionary note: do not overuse it. Drinking too much strong tea or coffee can cause insomnia, rapid heartbeat, and increase calcium excretion in the urine. In the long run, this isn't good for bones and muscles. It's best for older adults to drink weak tea, diluted coffee, and avoid drinking them late in the afternoon so as not to affect sleep. In summary, tea and coffee are not necessarily harmful to muscle, as long as they are consumed correctly, not immediately after a protein-rich meal. Not too strong, not too much, and ideally at least 1 hour away from a meal. Call to action: moderation. 15. If my teeth are weak and chewing is difficult, how should I eat to still get enough protein? The simplest solution is to choose foods that are soft, easy to chew, and easily digestible. Meat, fish, instead of large pieces of meat. You can mince it, stew it until very soft, or cook it in a meat porridge. For fish, choose meaty, less bony types, basa, salmon, then stew them soft or cook them in soup. Eggs, soy. Eggs are an excellent choice. They can be soft-boiled or beaten and cooked in soup, easy to eat and protein-rich. Tofu is soft, requires little chewing, and is rich in plant protein which is good for the heart. Dairy and derivatives, milk and dairy products like yogurt, soft cheese, and powdered milk are very easy sources of protein. Just 1 cup of milk has 7 to 8 grams of protein. If you can't drink fresh milk, replace it with soy milk, which is also protein-rich and easy to digest. Pureed foods, for more convenience. You can use nutritional soups or pureed foods. Many families make bone broth with vegetables. Simply add minced meat or tofu to make a soft, nutritious soup. For those who struggle severely with chewing, you can puree the food and eat it by the spoonful. The important thing is not to skip protein meals just because of chewing difficulty. There are many ways to prepare food to be softer and easier to eat while ensuring the body receives enough protein. Call to action: adapting diet. Final takeaway. Dear esteemed readers, muscle is not just the strength that allows us to walk, it is the foundation for our health, our memory, and our longevity. Many people believe old age is synonymous with steady weakening, but that is not the truth. If we know how to nourish the body with the right diet, consistent exercise, and healthy habits, we can absolutely maintain strong muscles, steady steps, and a clear mind. Emotional connection. Remember, protein is not a luxury, it's present in the eggs, the mung bean porridge, the piece of stewed fish, or the cup of milk you have every day. Exercise doesn't have to be complicated. Just a few laps around the yard or a few sit-to-stands are enough to activate the body's internal rejuvenation system. And good sleep and an optimistic spirit are the most precious medicine to help muscles recover after each day. Muscle is the silent companion of old age. Maintaining muscle is maintaining health, maintaining independence, maintaining the joy of self-care, and enjoying life fully with your children and grandchildren. Don't let time take that precious thing away. By starting with small changes today, you are laying the foundation for a tranquil, healthy, and free old age. Treat every meal, every step, and every night's sleep as a gift you give to yourself. Because old age is not an endpoint, but a new journey where we can live healthy, live actively, and live happily every day.